Did you know there is a Timbit cereal out? Now, for those of you who are not familiar with what a Timbit is, think of it like a donut hole, popularized by our favorite coffee chain up here in Canada, Tim Hortons. Now, as a self-proclaimed cereal fiend, I had to try it. I mean, Tim Hortons Timbit cereal? And I have to say, it was a tad sweet. However, somehow managed to finish the entire box. Not all in one sitting, don't worry. When I was younger, I loved cereal, and I had such a hard time deciding in the mornings which cereal I wanted for breakfast. If I'm honest, I've had a hard time making decisions almost my whole life. And when it comes to matters that are a lot more serious than what cereal to choose, it's even more difficult. Over the last few weeks, I have engaged in a lot of uncomfortable but important conversations around race, racism, white fragility, and I've had so many moments where I didn't know what to do. And as a result, spent a lot of time ruminating, deliberating, overanalyzing, post or not to post a black square, not to post a black square, say something or not say anything at all. And because of that, spent a lot of time sitting on the fence, not saying anything or doing anything, and perhaps spending a lot of time wasted. As the Chinese proverb goes, he who fully deliberates before taking a step will spend his whole life on one leg. Whether it's he, she, or her, the idea is that if we don't take a stand for something, we will just spend our whole lives on one leg and not moving forward at all. And so I realized I needed to decide to do something and be prepared to get it messy and be prepared to get it wrong. So whether or not it's in the current climate of uncertainty, if you ever find yourself not knowing what to do when you don't know what to do, here are some ideas that have helped anchor me over the last few weeks. The first idea, acknowledge your feelings. Don't make yourself wrong for not knowing what to do. You don't know what you don't know. And if we spend time shaming ourselves for not feeling good about not knowing what to do, well, then it becomes this vicious cycle. We're already feeling uncertain, and then we make ourselves wrong for feeling uncertain, and then we certainly don't know what to do or what our first next step should be. Moreover, sometimes we need to sit in the space of not knowing for us to be able to process and get clear on what makes sense to us. The next idea is to check in with your values. What is important to you? There are going to be so many different opinions and thoughts and perspectives, especially when there's a topic sensitive and emotional and with so much at stake. And so you have to make sure that you are doing what is in alignment with what is important and what is in alignment with your values. Is this going to take you closer to becoming more of who you want to be? Is this going to take you closer to stepping into what you want to achieve in your life, or further away? Sometimes we can get clouded by taking on other people's values and opinions. So really check in with your own values. The next idea is to stop trying to get it right. There is no right or wrong way in this matter or in any matter. And there's not only one way either. But when we try and get it right, when we try and be perfect, well, then often we don't want to do anything. You have to be prepared to get it messy, to get it wrong, to be uncomfortable, to throw spaghetti at the wall, because that is the only way you are going to learn and therefore grow. And especially if it's something that you've never done before, you're not going to get it right. So stop trying to achieve this ideal or this perfection that doesn't exist. Another idea is to seek outside counsel or resources. If you don't know yourself, ask someone who you think might shed some light or is more of an expert on a certain subject matter. They may have some ideas of resources or books or things that you can immerse yourself in to better inform yourself so that you know what makes sense, or at least you have all sides or more information before you make that choice. The next idea is to do something. Take action, however imperfect, because we're not going to gain more clarity from just spending this time thinking. You have to do something. And if it's not the right thing, well, you can always course correct, but you're not going to know until you try. And imperfect action is better than no action at all. And then finally, the last idea is to be true to you. Really look inside of yourself, trust your gut, listen to your intuition, and It is important to sometimes get outside ideas and opinions, but at the end of the day, you are the only one who's going to know what's right for you. And you're the only one who's going to know whether or not you're acting from a place of authenticity and, really transparency and being true to who you are. So remember, there is no right or wrong way to do something or to know what to do when you don't know what to do. And you can always course correct. And if you're not going to do anything, you're going to be spending too much time ruminating, deliberating, standing on one leg. And when there's something that's more important at stake, well, you owe it to yourself to do something, to make some sort of choice to move forward. Because you don't want to not necessarily go after what you truly want for fear of getting it wrong. You are going to learn and grow and figure it out as you go. So I hope you take on one of these ideas this week. Life is short, life is messy, and when there's too much at stake, when there's an important voice or opinion to be shared or a dream that we're talking about of yours, you need to get into that first step of action. I hope you get your brave on this week and do exactly that, and I hope you share this video with someone else in your life that you think could benefit. Until next time, I'm Schulte, and we will see you again here soon.